My name is Eric K. Thomas, and I am the editor-in-chief of the Quintessential Gentleman. And today we will be sitting here having a great conversation with Foote, Richard Bramwell, Corey Graham, the Southside group, and
Here we are
cast
in
members
the building.
Below Deck Mediterranean. Gentlemen, how you guys doing?
Good, man, good.
Fantastic. Life is grand.
Perfect. So first and foremost, how's all the family doing? Is everyone doing well and not having, everyone's doing great through this whole corona and all of that?
For me, yeah, everybody's good. The family's good. Kids is good. Wife is good. Parents is good. So yeah, everybody, thank God, has done well through these times.
Sean, Corey?
Yeah, same on my side. Life has been good. I'm actually starting to enjoy this remote COVID quarantine world.
You're not tired of the Zooms yet?
Say again?
You're not tired of the Zooms yet?
Not yet. You know what? The upside for me is I get more time to spend with the family and spend time with my little one, which normally when we running every day business wise, you get a small part of your day to spend with your loved ones. So I'm appreciating the fact that I get more time out of my day to spend with them. So
awesome. And Corey, everything is good on your side?
Thank God. Everything is great, just getting used to the new normalcy, with the kids, virtual learning. I got two sons, they have two different schedules. So sometimes they both in school, sometimes one is in school, sometimes they both at home. So, that part has been pretty interesting, trying to understand their schedule, right now, and juggling between that and work and, family life is, so it's all something new to get used to, but it's going pretty well right now, I must say.
Awesome.
We're adjusting.
What'd you say?
We're adjusting.
Perfect. When the quarantine first hit, probably like a month in, I said, I gotta send a prayer to everybody that have kids, because there's no way I was gonna make it.
Yeah, it's rough.
it was rough at the beginning. I think we in a rhythm now. So I learned how to fly this thing.
Perfect. So in the beginning, I called you guys the Southside Group. Where did Southside Group come from?
Yeah, so that's where we all originated from. We all know each other. We grew up in Southside Jamaica, Queens.
Nice.
As little boys and girls that eventually grew up to be men and women, and we all spread out and spread our wings and got into the business world and really, I would say each and every one of us collectively reached a certain level of success. But the origins and the roots of where we come from and the values that we learn come from Southside Jamaica, Queens. So we take that with us now, and we appreciate, how that has developed us into men and women.
Mm.
And y'all been friends since youngins.
The 80s, man, the 80s.
Long time.
Why you had to put it out there like that, Rich?
I mean, I'm just saying,
We look young. It could have been the 90s or the 2000s.
It goes back to the 80s. Rich is right.
It's the 80s, baby.
Perfect.
Yeah, from the 80s. I think Rich and I, we known each other since 86.
Yeah. 86.
Corey.
Yeah, then around somewhere in like 88, 89.
Yeah, I think that's when we all connect. So we all went to elementary school.
So would take me from school and walk me to my babysitter house, like 88, 89.
Paid in full.
I was a few years younger than these two,
Right.
So I had to come up a few grades to catch up. I'm still trying to keep up with them.
No, he surpassed.
He surpassed us, man. He took it over, man.
I got two good role models that I had to look to guide me through all these years, and it's a blessing now, full circle, that many years later, we still here, we help each other, we grind together, we live, we travel together, we spend time together, and
break bread, make money.
All that. all that. You know, so it's a blessing. It's definitely truly a blessing.
And it's so crazy because one of my favorite movies, not one of my favorite movies is The Brothers. So growing up, I always like saw like, oh, that's gonna be me with my homeboys, and we gonna make it, and we all gonna be successful, black men, the whole issue stuff. I didn't really want that part, but the other piece, not dealing with all the relationship drama, whatever the case they had going on, but just envisioning that type of friendship with your friends and being able to count on them and do certain things like that is definitely a dope thing. And seeing you guys, I'm like, oh, this real life right here.
Yeah, it is real life, but it's good to honestly be an example to others that these things do happen, So, we view each other as brothers for real.
Right.
And we take family vacations together. And, I mean, you guys got to witness some of that on Below Deck Mediterranean. And it's just like, this is what we do.
Overdue for one right now, man. We overdue for one.
We do this with the cameras off.
Yeah, and like I was just to piggyback off what Sean is saying is the main difference now between in the 80s to now is the family that's evolved. Like our families have intertwined through the years, so like Rich's son and my son are best friends. Like his son and that's like my little nephew. Sean's daughters, my niece, so, and then our wives all get along, that helps. And that also is another dynamic within our relationship. That's what makes it can either help or hurt. A friendship, a brothership, a brotherhood is the wives, because like when we were growing up, we had girlfriends and things like that, but it's more serious. It's serious now, we got kids, we got families. So when all of that works, it makes it even like 10 times more special. Right. It really amends the brotherhood. It like really that's the glue, when the family interact. Like Sean's son and Sean's daughter and Richard's youngest son, they're like sisters and brothers or cousins. Yeah, like when we out, like they, those are both my niece and nephews, hanging out with them. And, and the interesting part was Richard's father used to take me and his brother out when we were kids. Oh, wow. 20 years ago, 25 years ago. Now, it's just like full circle.
Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. So you spoke a little bit about your vacation. Again, like you said, we got to see a piece of that. First of all, how did that even happen that you guys were casted and on Below Deck Mediterranean?
We was on vacation, and Sean said,
"Yeah." So I'm gonna take it back from before that, because what's interesting is, I think we all have done some amazing things in our lives, right? But my wife hosts a vision party like every year with her family. So it was Thanksgiving, and we hosted a vision party, and I put this mega yacht on the vision board, and I kept it as my wallpaper on my phone. I know Corey, you remember when I sent it to you?
Yeah. And, when he sent it to me, I'm like, this is. I asked. I said, well, you know what? How can I get a vision board? And he said, well, I'm gonna send you mine, and then you tell me, how you feel. I said, you know what? I just copy yours. That's it. Everything that was on his board was on my board. So I'm like, you good. I like the yacht. I like the jet. All that.
That's a true story. That's a true story.
Right. I bought in right away.
So ironically, I guess 6-7 months later, we were on vacation in Jamaica, I think.
Jamaica.
And, we were on the beach having some drinks. The guys were circled up, and we were talking about all the things and beautiful things that we'd experienced in life and what was on our bucket list that we had left to do. And, my wife had been approached a couple times by the show about us coming on there, and we never really took it seriously. And we started talking about private jets and all these things that we're doing and not doing. And we were like, well, maybe we should charter, we had the opportunity to charter a mega yacht, what's up with that? And then it wasn't like, it was no hesitation. Everybody was like, let's do it. Let's check that box and get that out the way. And then as soon as we got back, we called the show and said, hey, we'll go ahead and do this. And a couple months later, we were on this mega yacht in the middle of the Mediterranean, enjoying life and living it up.
Awesome, awesome. So what was it like having the cameras around? You know, you guys vacation before, so it's nothing, but what was kind of the experience between, you know, living life, but did y'all feel any type of pressure to do anything different, or I don't want to show that, or I don't want to see that, or anything like that? Was there in the beginning, like, I don't know, any hesitation?
I mean, for me, the only thing that I was concerned about is that I have a very sarcastic side, and I tend to say things under my breath a lot. And we were mic'd 24/7, so I just had to constantly keep telling myself, like, you got this mic on, you got this mic on. As far as the cameras, it was all natural. Like they were there, but I would say, like, after the first couple hours on the boat, it was like they weren't there. You know, we just kept it moving. We did vacation. That's what we were told to do. That's what we do. That's what we did.
Right. And the vacation part, Rich is right. You know, that's what we did. We vacation. But I could say if there's anything that was uncomfortable, I would say is forgetting that the mic is on us or on me at the time. You know, like, you know, it may be a thought after the fact that, oh man, what did I say? Did I say, like, you know, after the day is done, you say to yourself, well, did I say anything that I may not want the world to know? Because if I did, chances are they're gonna definitely use it, right? So that part was the unknown, the not knowing, you know what I mean? But for the most part, you know, you kind of get used to it. Or after a while, you kind of just, you gotta. Well, we did. We kind of set our mind to say, you know what, we gotta always realize what the producers told us. Just always picture yourself that the cameras is always on you and the mic is always on. Right. You know, and if you move that way, then that's it. They're gonna record. They have hidden cameras. They got cameras everywhere. So, and you have a mic on you all the time. So it's live. You know, it's like whatever's gonna happen, whatever outburst, whatever's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. You know, so, you know, but it was definitely an experience. It was a fun experience. You know, something that, you know, was an experience of a lifetime. You know, and to share with my loved ones. You know what I'm saying? Family. I mean, I consider these guys family to me. So it was like, and we all family, you know. So it was a joyous event. And then dealing with the cast and all of that, you know, was a whole nother experience, you know.
And one thing I will say, which, like, originally we were a little bit reluctant about doing the show. This is before we even mentioned it to the crew, because you just don't know how they're going to edit you and splice you together, and are they gonna make me sound crazy or whatever? I don't need that, right. You know. And then it kind of, once we got in there, you know, we just kind of did our thing, and then, you know, months later it shows up on television. But one thing I will say about the show, that show was a true reality show. They don't twist what you say or make you sound crazy. It is what it is. You said it. They aired it. You didn't say it. They didn't. They don't put things together to create the drama. It's a true organic reality show, which I appreciated that they didn't make us look or sound too crazy. If we did, it was our own fault.
Awesome. Also, so another thing that I really enjoy about the show is its ability to show that Black people can break generational curses. Things outside of what they consider Black people, you know, Black men to be, or, you know, we don't have, or whatever the case may be. But I would be interested in hearing, you know, what were some of those struggles that you guys had before you had the success that you had?
Being Black.
Very true. Very true. Living while Black.
Yo, yeah, that's definitely a struggle in itself. You know, I'm answering your question, but just thinking in what you were talking about, and is, I think something else that we wanted to show, or we wanted to come across, is that as Black men, we don't play basketball, we don't rap, we don't act. We just regular Joes that just worked hard and did what we did and got to where we are. So I think that's another point that we're really trying to get across, is that, you know, we do more than just, you know, monkey business. And you know, for us to do it, and we do it separately and we do it together. So each of us have built our career without rap or basketballs to a certain success. And it has been a struggle. I mean, I have these conversations all the time about, you know, the white privilege and having the white privilege is it's real. It's a reality. And to me, I always say it's something that as much as they can empathize with us, they really can't sympathize with us because they've never done or gone through what we've gone through. So I just want, you know, Black people to know that we can do it. You know, it just takes hard work, and, you know, the double standard, we got to probably work a little harder than they do, but it's possible. And you're seeing 3 examples right here that ran 3 different paths to getting there. So that's just my thought on the whole being Black and the struggles of getting to where we are, or getting to where I am today.
Right, right. Where we come from, you know, South Jamaica, Queens, typically, you know, is a neighborhood where, you know, you have to survive. You know, you have options. You can go one way or the other way. You go the right way or the wrong way. You know, and we all have people that we grew up with that chose other paths. You know, and some are not around, some are incarcerated, and so on and so forth. But we are, like Rich said, you know, all from the same neighborhood, and had a lot of trials and tribulations, you know, to get past, get out of that neighborhood, and to continue to grow. And it also come back and then help, you know, help out the neighborhoods. I mean, the same neighborhoods that I grew up in, I still invest in them, you know, with real estate. So it helped to redevelop the areas and make them better. Same thing as Rich, you know, in New York, he's the developer and doing big things too, you know, big things. So insurance doing big things in ATL, and, you know, that's what I was always taught. Like, my mom taught me 2 things. She always said, like, you know, you are who you hang around, right? So coming out of, we went to private school in South Jamaica. So it kind of gave us, it kind of gave us a different perspective growing up in that same environment. But, you know, we all went to private school, so it kind of gave us a different perspective than what was just around us, you know, like this, just on our blocks and things. And that has shown to prove that has contributed to our success, is being able to surround ourselves with like-minded people at a young age. In the 80s, we're saying. We had a lot of similarities back then, you know, with our family structure and the way we grew up. Our parents took time and invested in our education and our futures for us to be where we are today. Mm-hmm. So that all plays a part.
Yeah.
And, you know, earlier you guys spoke about, you know, I believe Corey you spoke like it was a good thing that, you know, your wives kind of got along and all of that. But, you know, why is it important for, you know, your wives to be in your lives, not even as bosses as themselves, but also to be in your corner, and just that relationship aspect?
I mean, I could say a few things on that. I mean, for me with my wife, and the difference, I guess, for me is that my wife is also from Southside and went to school with us. Okay. So I've known her since the 80s. Mm-hmm. But the one thing I must say, like, as far as my wife is that backbone, that support, like, you gotta have the right one. You gotta have the right one. And I think that we all got the right ones. I see how all the wives act and how they respect and support their men. You know, it's not a me thing. It's an our thing. It's a we thing. So I think that support from your partner, whoever that may be, is super important. And I know it has been in my success. I know that if I didn't have the woman grounding me the way she was grounding me, I don't know where I would be, because I might have been a little playboy back in the days. And, you know, I might have brought that into my older age had I not found somebody to ground me and say, look, you got to get focused. Like, life is not about, you know, all of that. You need to really get focused. You got a family, you got to support, you got food you got to put on the table. So, you know, she really keeps me motivated and I keep aspiring to do more and more and more. You know, so I'm not done yet. I got a lot more to go. These fellas know, because I talk about it all the time. You know, until I take over the world, I'm not gonna be there.
And that's the beauty of our relationship. We all uplift each other. You know, the wives support us, we support the wives, and it's contagious. So what I was saying about you all, who you hang around with, is when we together, we all kind of motivate each other. The wives motivate us. We motivate the wives. Why, you know, it's a dynamic. When the system works, it keeps working in that direction. But that's why it's important to have the right people around you, you know, and then, you know, you keep growing together, keep inspiring.
And Sean, one thing we've noticed kind of now is that entrepreneurship, that's a trend. It's cool to be an entrepreneur. And they make it's glamorous. You know, you own your own, you do your own thing. But what are some misconceptions outside of those things about entrepreneurship?
So I'm gonna say that my first dose of entrepreneurship came with the gentleman on this call, Mr. Richard Bramwell. When we were in elementary school, we started a painting business, okay. And we started to paint, you know. And his father was our first customer, so that was our first dose of entrepreneurship. But that fire has always been with us since we were children. And him and I, we went to elementary school together, we went to high school together, we went to college together, you know. So we've had many businesses, we've evolved together, and was always this passion, this fire burning in our souls to be entrepreneurs. And the thought of having someone choose my destiny, you know, it just doesn't work for me, you know. I want to be rewarded for my efforts and build something from the ground up. But to answer your question, the misconception is that it's easy. I mean, but when you're looking at us, or 3 Black men that have been successful, understand that there are 1,000 failures that came before this. But the fact that we're here is a testament to the fact that we have a resilient mindset. We've weathered those storms. We took and learned lessons from those failures to get to the success. And one of the things that I think that when you talk about trends that we're dealing with right now, there's sort of this mindset that we live in this microwave society. People see things on Instagram and they're like, oh, I want that now. Oh, they on this mega yacht, I want that now. It's like, you got to put in the work. And there's going to be days where there's struggles and frustrations, and you know, there's more those days, way more than the successful days. And so you got to be willing to put in that work and weather those storms, but understand that the failure is a part of the success. There's beauty in it. So I think that goes unrecognized and unnoticed is what comes behind it.
Anyone else want to add?
I mean, for entrepreneurship, for me, it is a fad right now. I definitely, you know, everybody, you know, for my company, when I do get involved with interviews and I interview young people, they always say, yeah, I want my own business. I want to be an entrepreneur. And my question is, doing what? Like, tell me, what do you want to do? And 90% of the time, they never know. They just know they want to have their own business. And that's what leads me to believe that this is a fad. You know, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want that title. And it is really hard work. It's really hard work. Some people are just, you know, I would say it's better for you to just go get a 9-to-5. I mean, I do promote entrepreneurship. I'm big on Black business and the whole ecosystem and economics and wealth generation, but I also am realistic and know that it's not for everyone. Everyone is not meant to be an entrepreneur. There are some people, and some of them work for me, that are really good number 2s. Like, they're the best number 2 in the world, and they don't want to be an entrepreneur, or they don't have that toughness or that skin. So I would just say being an entrepreneur is not an easy thing. You know, be prepared to lose some sleep.
So you guys all clearly believe in Black ownership. Do you have some kind of secrets or tips on how people can either go about owning their own, or maybe the importance of Black people, Black men, Black women owning their own?
Yeah, what I would say first and foremost, just to speak on the entrepreneurial question, for me, I've always been an entrepreneur. All right, I've never had a 9-to-5. So it's just 12, 13 years old. And again, hanging around guys like my buddies here, my brothers, it's always been that way. His father, Richard's father, has always been in real estate, so that's someone that I always, could guide me. My own father, he was a plant manager for 40 years, but right when it was time for him to retire, I asked him, I said, well, can I take over as a plant manager? You're running a factory with 400 workers upstate New York. He said, no, you got to start at the bottom and start sorting buttons, $5 an hour. And I'm like, that. We need something that we can, where your grandkids are going to be good. And that's how we kind of evolved into real estate. But before that, when I was 12, we had a pallet business. We was flipping pallets. Then we started doing clothes, and then we eventually went to real estate. But one thing that I can advise is find something that you enjoy doing for free. Find your passion. So even if you're working, if you have something that you like to do for free, start doing it and letting it grow from there. I found myself liking to buy low, sell high. I like to sell. I was into sales, so I was flipping pallets. I started flipping clothes, then I wound up flipping real estate. And I chose those things instead of flipping drugs. And I tell people to this day, we all have a choice in life. We could flip stuff that's legal or illegal. But thankfully,
skill set.
Yeah, same skill set. It's just you just got to find your niche. Find your niche. Find what you enjoy doing. Whether it's doing hair, doing nails, real estate, drawing, writing, rapping, whatever you want, whatever you like to do. Building, doing financial, advising, teaching. I mean, there's so many different things. As an entrepreneur basically is doing what you love to do and doing it for others, and watching other people blossom from your product or from what you created, right?
Awesome. So now getting to a little bit of the fun stuff. I feel like now everybody and their mama is traveling. Another bad, but I'm happy about this one because Black people, we didn't used to travel. We didn't used to see the world. And I want to know kind of what your thoughts on, because you guys have been traveling way before it was a thing. And I want to see kind of from your perspective, what kind of changed? What made it see now you see so many people, specifically Black men, Black women, actually going out and traveling and leaving America?
Social media.
100%.
Information. I mean, it's once you expose, a lot of times, for a long time, a lot of the good information was kept quiet. It wasn't shown. So we don't know what we got to accomplish. That's why I say you all who hang around. If you're around people that travel, you're going to start figuring out, destinations. Okay, this person went here, they had a nice time in this part of the island or this country, this continent. But now the internet makes the world very small. You could basically be on vacation watching someone else's vacation on Instagram or YouTube. Right? Or us, like people put themselves in our shoes on our vacation. They can picture themselves on a yacht now. They see, three, successful Black couples on a yacht. Now it makes it possible for the next generation or for the same generations to say, you know what, we could do it too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I would say for myself, I wasn't born in this country, so I was born in the Caribbean, and so from the time I moved to New York when I was 5 years old, and since I was been a child, I've been traveling, right? And even when we go back home, so that was the norm for me. And then as I evolved, it was always a passion of mine to be like, I want to see, explore different things, try different foods, see how different people live. There's a bigger world outside of New York, even though New Yorkers feel like there's nothing beyond New York. I remember, growing up and people like, I'm going on vacation, we're going to the Poconos. And I'm like, there's a whole other world outside of just going to Pennsylvania, And so that was always a fire in myself. And luckily for me, I have a group of friends that love to travel and experience and explore the world as well. And I think even for us, it allows us to travel, reset, recharge, disconnect from the world. And then when you're exposed to different people and different cultures, you start to even develop an even more intense fire because you recognize a lot of times that you have things and opportunities that most people don't. And if you don't capitalize on it, then you're doing a disservice to yourself and your families. But you know, I hope that we have been an inspiration to others. I hope that the social media continues to inspire other people to want to travel, because there's a lot to learn when you step out of your comfort zone and explore different things.
Very true, very true. So you guys have had a taste of reality TV. You know, you guys had some good times. You all enjoyed it. What's coming up next? Can we see you guys on some other things? Is some things working? You know, by the looks of your faces, that's like a yes, but I can't tell you. But you guys tell me, where are we going? Excuse me, are we going to see you guys on TV again?
To be continued.
Good answer. Good answer.
Okay, but you would like to. Can I get that? You would like to do certain things, right? You enjoyed it enough to do some certain stuff like that?
My thing is, I want to inspire Black folk, yo. I want to show them that this can happen. It's real. I know we got obstacles and things like that, but we can overcome them. And I really want to see the younger generation like really step up and turn this thing. And why I'm so concerned about the younger generation, because as I become the older generation, I realize that the younger generation is the ones that's going to be taking care of me. So I need to make sure that at least my fellow brothers and sisters are well enough to take care of me. So I'm really hard pressed on Black economics.
And to piggyback on that, one of the things that I think we've all been accustomed to now is like toxic television in terms of reality TV. Anytime you see Black folks on reality TV, they're throwing drinks in people's faces. It's that kind of drama, and it's a lot of negativity. I think what we brought to the table and that we want to continue to bring to the table is a positive message, a shining example of what positivity looks like. And you don't have to bring negativity to bring drama and make people interested in watching you. Just being an example to others and showing the diversity of having Black couples do things that they're not accustomed to and do it with class and style and grace is something that people want to see. It's inspirational, and I think there's a place for that in TV. So if that gives you any type of hint, that I think there's
that's good. I'll take that. I'll take that. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much. Richard, Sean, Corey, I appreciate it. I cannot wait to see you guys on TV again, because it's happening. Y'all heard it here. They said it. They just didn't know they said it, but they said it. Thank you, guys. Enjoy your night, and thank you again for allowing us to speak with you today.
Thank you, man.
Thank you so much, man. Great time.
Stay Black and stay safe.